Hey friends, what's up? Welcome back to my TBR shelf. We are picking out 5 books for the month of June from my TBR shelf. I have a random number generator, which is on 10 currently because I was testing it. This is not a book that I am choosing. But I wanted to do this with you guys today because, as you know, I've been trying to read my backlogged books. So not necessarily backlog, but any physical book that I have on my shelves that I have not read. These are all of my unread books. My big white shelves that you guys normally see are my read books that I own. I'm trying to be more of a conscious consumer, but oh my God, if I go into a Barnes & Noble, I'm buying like 1,000 books. So I need to stay on top of this. So this might revolve a little bit in the sense of take some on, take some off, put some on kind of thing. But let's choose 5 books for the month of June, and I swear to God, if it picks Priory of the Orange Tree, I'm going to cry. Essentially what I've done is I've counted all of my books. Now, ones that are in a series, like we have all of the Sebastian de Castell books over here, if it chooses, I basically put it as 1 and I'll read the first one. And then if it chooses, next time it chooses 1, then I'll read the second one, if that makes sense. Same thing with my Becky, what's it called? Becky Chambers. Same as my Becky Chambers series. I'm a hot mess today. I have not had any caffeine. Let's go ahead and get started. So number 1, we have book number 41. Let's figure out which one that is. All right, so book number 41 is actually going to be Record of a Spaceborne Few, which is the next book in the Becky Chambers Wayfarer series. I just read the first one last month, and oh my God. So I am so excited to read this. I don't necessarily want to know what it's about. Some of these I don't know anything about, but it's about the Exodus fleet is a living relic, a place many are from, but few outsiders have seen. When a disaster rocks the already fragile community, those Exodans who have not yet left for alien cities struggle to find their way in an uncertain future. Why remain among the stars when there are habitable worlds within reach? And what is the purpose of a ship that has reached its destination? So excited. So flippin' excited. I could not tell you how much I love the first one. So this is fantastic for me. All right, book number 2. 21. Okay. Oh my God, no. Okay. I'm really not. This is not the month for this. I got Imaginary Friend, which, as you guys can tell, is honkin'. This I've had for a really long time, but it says single mother Kate Reese is on the run. Determined to improve life for herself and her son Christopher, she flees an abusive relationship in the middle of the night with her child. Together they find themselves drawn to the tight-knit community of Mill Grove, Pennsylvania. It's as far off the beaten track as they can get, just one highway in, one highway out. At first it seems like the perfect place to finally settle down, then Christopher vanishes. For 6 long days, no one can find him until Christopher emerges from the woods at the edge of town, unarmed but not unchanged. He returns with a voice in his head only he can hear, with a mission only he can complete. Build a treehouse in the woods by Christmas, or his mother and everyone in the town will never be the same again. 20 years ago, Stephen Chbosky's The Perks of Being a Wallflower made readers everywhere feel infinite. Now he has returned with an epic work of literary horror, years in the making, whose grand scale and rich emotion redefine the genre. Okay, this is going to be one that I'm kind of nervous about, and I think might end up being a D&F. This was on my donate list, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to pick another book. I'm going to add a 6th book because I've heard really bad things about this. So if I don't love it, it's going to end up being donated or sold, so I want to make sure that I have something to fill it, and I'm going to give this one about 50-ish pages because it is a honker, and I'm not really intimidated by a big book, but I have just heard really bad things about it, so I don't necessarily know that I'm going to love it either. I've heard it's like a Stephen King kind of ripoff, like a bad King ripoff. So we'll see what I think of it, but I'm gonna add a 6th book just in case. All right, next one, number 3, 4. Ooh, yes. Oh wait, no, 1, 2, 3, 4. Well, I'm still excited. Sorry, I forgot I have 2 on the top of my shelf as well. So the next one I have is Permanent Record. This is on paper college dropout Pablo Neruda doesn't have a whole lot going for him. His graveyard shift at a 24-hour deli in Brooklyn is a struggle. Plus, he's up to his eyeballs in credit card debt, never mind the state of his student loans. Pop juggernaut Leanna Smart has enough social media followers to populate whole continents. The brand is unstoppable. She graduated from child stardom to become an international icon, and her adult life is a queasy blur of private planes, hotel rooms, and strangers screaming for her to just notice them. When Leanna and Pablo meet at 5 a.m. at the bodega in the dead of winter, it's absurd to think they'd be a thing. But as they discover who they are, who they want to be, and how to defy the expectations of everyone else, Lee and Pab turn to each other, which of course is when things get properly complicated. Pretty excited. This one I've had this one for years and years. This was a book of the month, and this came out in, let's see, 2019. So this one, I need to read that one. All right, so we have 3. We need 3 more. What do we got? 31. So 1, 2, 3. Sorry. All right, we have Mortal Follies by Alexis Hall. This one I've heard is a very manic, fairy, romance, fae kind of book. I'm actually going to go into this one blind, so I don't want to read the description, but I've heard it's like a gay, I want to say, is it Peter Pan retelling? I can't remember, but I'm going to go into this one blind, but I am excited to read it. I've had it for quite a while. I think I bought it when it came out. I have never read anything else by her. I don't think. This came out in 2023, so not a super old release, but one that I've had for at least a couple of years. All right, 5th book, 43. Oh god, 1, 2. All right, we got another freaking chonker of a book. Oh, this is number 2. Hold on. We have The Tethered Mage. This is by Melissa Caruso. This is one that I believe I may have read at one point forever ago when this first came out. This is one of the books that Orbit sent me. This came out in 2017. So yeah, definitely believe that I've read this before, but it's been so long and I still have the second one. So some of these books that are on here are books that I have read the first one so long ago and want to read the second one and need to kind of start over. So this is going to be one of them. But it says, in the Reveran Empire, magic is scarce, and those born with power are strictly control taken as children and conscripted into the Falcon Army. Zarina has grown up on the streets to avoid this fate, hiding her mage mark and thieving to survive. But hers is a rare and dangerous magic, one that threatens the entire empire. Lady Amalia Carano was never meant to be a falconer. Heiress and scholar, she was born into a treacherous world of political machinations, but fate has bound her hair and the mage. The hair and the mage. Word looms on the horizon. A single spark could turn their city into a pyre. So, fantastic. I'm excited to get through some of my series and like duologies and stuff that I have. So, excited for that one. We got a little bit of fantasy, a little bit of, you know, contemporary and stuff. Next one is number 12. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Ooh, so excited. The Listeners by Maggie Stiefvater. This is a recent one that I got. This follows a hotel that essentially all of the staff have to be nice to a bunch of Nazis that are staying there. And we've got intrigue. We're trying to find, like, I mean, it's called The Listeners for a reason. We have World War II Germany. Love, love, love. One of my favorite like historical kind of eras to like research and study and stuff. So I don't know if you guys knew that. I love World War II history. So really, really, really excited to see the take on this. Couldn't imagine having to be nice to a Nazi that was staying in my fucking hotel. But I guess I could if it meant that I could get information to kind of like overthrow them a little bit. So those are the books that I have. We have these books here. Much excite. The thing about this is, though, this is not an exhaustive list. So this is my physical TBR. I do still have a couple that I'm reading on Kindle. I have started Bare Bones of the Midnight Soil. I'm trying to make my way through Olivia Blake's The Atlas 6 right now. So we've got some other books that we've also started that I'm going to be reading as well. So not an exhaustive list, but these are the ones that I want to read off my TBR. So if you guys want to follow along, keep up with stuff, feel free to follow me over on Instagram. But thank you guys so much for watching. Let me know if you're going to read any of these. Maybe we can read them together. But I love you so much. I hope you guys have a fantastic day, and I will see you at the next video that I post, hopefully a little bit of a reading vlog.